So the mainstream has started catching on to Ethan's complete legal rampage against all of his detractors, okay? And all of these completely ridiculously spiteful lawsuits that are posing as real legitimate like having a real legitimate cause, but in reality, Ethan is just a spiteful petty person. Now, if you have paid attention to H3 for any period of time since 2020, this will kind of be no surprise. I mean, no, honestly, that's wrong. The only surprise is how far he's going this time. He's always shown that about his character to be a very spite-driven, petty, um, small man who holds on to literally every bit of a grudge that he can get. He is so unbelievably spiteful. It's ridiculous, right? And the fact that it's even getting to this point, it's like people like him will get the slightest bit of power in reality and just go absolutely fucking balls to the wall. It's completely ridiculous, honestly, the way things are going. But it's getting to the point where even Moist Critical has started to notice. And honestly, it's not exactly surprising that he's noticed it. What really is surprising is his dedication to the both sides bit. Cause like, oh my fucking god. So I'm watching this video right now, and he's saying he's saying that he thinks that the lawsuit against the Snark Discord was totally justified. It's like if you only look at the cliff notes of what was going on, yeah, you might think it's justified, right? Because, you know, you're only hearing the emotional part from Ethan's fan base, which is like his children were being threatened and he got skulls in the mail and da 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 and like fucking and CPS was called on his family. It's like, okay, let's get into why he actually sued Snark, okay? He claims that he did it because people on the Snark Reddit Discord were saying that they were calling in, right? They were calling CPS and that they were behind the skulls. Like, are we? Actually, no. They didn't even say that they were behind the skulls, actually, but there was a bunch of people claiming that they had made the CPS call. But in reality, okay, there was someone outside of that who was his own little streamer that Ethan couldn't really track down. His name was Bad Empanada, right? He was the main person claiming that he's the one who did the CPS call. But the thing is you can't exactly prove it 100%. So Ethan will just go after anyone he can. If he can't go after his real target, he'll just take out his rage on someone else. And he took it out on the Snark Reddit. Are we really going to believe a bunch of Reddit comments that claim that they actually did something? Half of those comments are like, hey, psychologist here. Hey, I have a degree. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You're a fucking LARPer, okay? Are we actually just going to take internet comments at face value like that and take it to court and try to dox fucking hundreds of people over it? This is absolutely ridiculous, okay? This is like if like someone like Keffels tried to dox everyone on her Kiwi Farms thread, okay? Which I'm pretty sure she did try to do. I don't know, that was a fucking while ago. But this is like the same level of shit. And this is the same level of retardation we are discussing here, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous, all right? So the fact that Charlie thinks that that lawsuit was just all well and good shows me that he didn't actually do a lot of research. Now, he started his first video by just proclaiming like, guys, I'm Unk. I'm not on the internet anymore. I don't pay attention to these types of things. It's like, well, if you don't pay attention to it, don't talk about it, you know? And he even kind of admits that he's only doing this because people were complaining that he was avoiding the topic, that he was like intentionally avoiding it. It's like, no, if you're not online and you aren't paying attention to it, don't talk about it. It's totally fine, okay? Only retards are gonna actually assume that you're running cover for Ethan Klein when you have nothing to gain. You have literally nothing to gain from him. So it makes zero sense that you would be running cover for him and suppressing the story. Like anyone who takes this guy seriously, beyond just milquetoast mainstream figurehead, is retarded. Okay, he doesn't have any actual pull that could suppress stories or hide the truth. It's like we're getting too conspiracy brained here, okay? Now, one thing that he actually does have a good observation on, thank fucking God, is the main issue that's happening right now, which is the Ethan versus idubbbz lawsuit, okay? If you don't know anything about that, dude, which you definitely do if you're watching this video, let's be real, it's completely ridiculous. Idubbbz had shown a screenshot of a Discord chat that Destiny posted. And then idubbbz said, I don't agree with this, but this needs to be addressed. As in, you're just going to let this guy get away with this? And basically, okay, like since I don't want to, you know, I already know that I've said a bunch of things in my past videos that might get my channel demonetized. So I'm really trying to be more aware of that now and actually be careful with what I say. He was saying that Ethan does not okay stuff with his kids. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Like if you're watching the video, you already know exactly what happened and what was said, right? And now Ethan, once again, because he can't get to who he actually wants to punish, he's just gonna take it out on literally anybody else, right? And idubbbz is just a convenient target who he already hates because of the content caught from like a year ago, right? And speaking of things from a year ago, you know what else is a year ago? The skulls. People keep bringing up the skulls like that's still a valid point. Whatever implied threat that like that was behind sending those skulls, it's literally been a year, dude. It's been a year. Okay, I think whoever sent those skulls didn't actually, you know, they were just doing it to purely fuck with Ethan. It was not like a legitimate like I'm gonna kill your whole fucking family and throw you guys in an oven. Like no, it's nothing like that. Okay. Ethan even admits in his own lawsuit, okay, that he's only going after idubbbz because he's able to. He said that because California slap laws are so restrictive, he's happy that idubbbz is now in Canada. It's because now he's actually able to sue him and fuck him, like financially sodomize him essentially. Like it's ridiculous, dude. So he's inadvertently admitting that this is a slap suit and that he isn't doing this because he thinks that idubbbz is legitimately defaming him. He's inadvertently admitting that he's doing this because he's a spiteful piece of shit. He's a fat, disgusting, fucking, like, horrific looking, petty, coughing, twitching man. Dude, have you guys ever watched any of his podcasts? This guy coughs like every two fucking... Anyways, and the twitching, dude. Don't even get me started on the twitching. I know you have, like, Tourette's or whatever, but, like, bro, like, whenever he coughs, I just know that whatever he's saying is just a complete lie. It's because his takes are triggered by nervousness, right? If you're nervous while talking about a lawsuit that you should have no worries about because, you're most likely going to win if you're right, You're most likely going to win and you're not, like, hiding anything from your audience, you wouldn't be coughing that much. Whenever he coughs, it's like a clear tell of lying. Anyways, right? The point is, okay, is that everyone and their fucking mom knows that this is false, except for people who are blatantly like... No, but the primary point is, before I start getting off track, okay, it really is a shame that Charlie didn't do a lot of research on this topic because, like, it's becoming increasingly harder to tell if he is intentionally, like, riding the fence like it's a Moby huge dildo, or he just is actually, like, he just doesn't pay that much attention. But it's him kind of claiming at the beginning of the video that he doesn't pay attention to online stuff all that much and that he's not super terminally online anymore. It's like, okay, whatever, right? But it's also your job. It's also the way you've made income for like years now, right? If people want you to discuss a topic, like, are you just not going to do your job? Your voice, his voice is important because it reaches so many people, but he's so overly careful with it. I can't tell if he's, like, intentionally, like, doing a middle of the road bit, like a both sides thing, or like he just actually, like, he's just so, like, new and fresh to the scene that he still doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And at the time that he made the video, he did learn about it like 3 hours ago, so I could see why, like, okay, he probably doesn't know all of the details and everything. This requires, a lot of paying attention to, and like you kind of have to adjust your algorithm to this particular drama with Ethan in order to notice these things, right? It's because if you're just looking at it from a surface level, of course you're going to think, okay, Ethan's in the right. But then once you actually start getting into it and you actually start thinking about it and doing more research on it rather than just reading a couple of news articles and reading some tweets, right? Rather than just, quote, doing some reading, like he said, right? You realize that Ethan is full of shit and what he's doing is completely wrong. And that almost never, like, almost none of these lawsuits have been justified. Almost none of them. And there's even one with Denims who, like, he's or like him and all of his little orbiters have been hyping up fucking Nick and Pegasus and all these fucking retards, right? They've been hyping this up. It's because he started suing someone. Okay, I won't get too into the details with the Denims lawsuit, but essentially he was suing someone for copyright. And then his previous case from like, what, 2016? Ethan's own case about copyright was used as evidence as to why Ethan is in the wrong in that particular lawsuit. And it was just like the most beautifully ironic thing ever, right? And it's really getting to the point where it's becoming clear that the people on Ethan's side or on Nick's side or on Pegasus's side aren't just retarded. They're just bloodthirsty fiends, right? And I understand. You want something entertaining. You want something to listen to while you're at work or whatever, right? You just want something fun to watch or to listen to. I get that, right? But what these content creators need to remember is the second their audience gets bored, they're going to get eaten first. They're the first people that are going to get eaten. These people are piranhas. They want blood 24/7. So if Ethan doesn't keep the lawsuits rolling, and if his orbiters don't keep reporting on what's happening, the moment their audience gets bored, all of these people are going to go down in flames. My favorite one that will happen, it's going to be Nicholas Diorio. His is going to be the most entertaining to watch. It's because knowing how soy H3H3's audience is and having a deep familiarity with Nick's past on the internet is because I actually used to be quite a big fan of his. I used to watch all his videos. I used to see him on Augie's streams and everything. I watched Nick's streams when he first started streaming, right? So knowing the kind of past that he has and the kind of humor he was participating in, it's going to be really interesting to see when the H3 audience gets bored and starts eating this motherfucker alive. It's going to be really interesting.